Okay, now, outside before, well, still is pretty much, it was like covered in total darkness almost. Like, you'd think it was like an eclipse or whatever, but then it started pouring rain, okay, and the streets are a bit flooded here, like they usually are in Phnom Penh. Okay, so it's still raining, and I'm indoors here in a cafe. Okay, so with that, as I've got a little bit of time on my hands now, I'll have a chat about digitalization, which a lot of people talk about, which is going to happen, okay, and passports in particular, okay. So the passports that you carry now will, in just a matter of a few years, become obsolete. Thought it was an insect. Yeah, that'll become obsolete soon. So basically, passports are going to be moving on to an app on your phone, and it's going to be digital. Okay. Now, people always talk about this, and yeah, eventually it will come to fruition. Some people are saying, oh, but it's going to take away the excitement of, having a passport and the stamps and everything. It's like the passport is like a book where you show off the places you've travelled and everything. Well, it's already becoming just basically QR stamps inside your passport. The traditional ones are starting to disappear now. That took up the whole page. That's going to start going. Many countries have now adopted new technology when it comes to visas, short-term or long-term, the stamps that are in your passport and whatnot. Okay, so that's the passport. That's the passport that we've been accustomed to for many years. Okay, and as we know it over the years, we've passed through airports, shown our passports and stuff like that, and what's in there was kind of like good enough for them, for you to pass through, and then they stamped a entry stamp, visa on arrival wherever you're going to, generally with no questions asked, everything okay. Now, those days are going to be soon long gone. When you start to have a digital passport as an app, then all your info is going to be there. All your info is going to be visible, where you've been, where you've travelled to, any problems in any countries, whether you've been black banned or whatnot. That's going to be all visible. Okay. Now, what's even worse is we've had the freedom for many years, especially those of us that are from Western countries, to travel and live long term in other foreign countries, like, for example, living here in Cambodia for long term, just a matter of extending your visa, etc. Okay, now that's no problem for Cambodia. They're happy to do that for you and extend your visa for another 12 months and another 12 months. Now, as it's all online, the country that you come from, the government themselves can have a look into your information, into your app, and they can think to themselves, this person has lived in such and such country for, I don't know, like 5 years now or something, and with that, your actual citizenship in your country could be in jeopardy. That's when your country can easily say, hey, you're not a citizen of Australia, USA, UK anymore. That's it. Goodbye. You're off our list now. And they could easily do that, depending on how long. If they feel that you've lived for even just a matter of 2 or 3 years, 5 years. It's like, hey, if you don't come back here or whatnot, you are going to lose your citizenship. Now, we've enjoyed years when our own governments don't even know what we're up to, unless it's the Electoral Commission or other government departments that are looking for you or something or other, you know. Like I make sure that I still vote, even though I'm living overseas. So, I'm doing everything in accordance to being an Australian citizen and whatnot. So there's no problem there. But, for those that don't do anything, like they haven't paid certain taxes and whatnot in their home country, it's like, well, we can stop your citizenship. You're no longer going to be a citizen of this country and everything. And so basically, that's what I wanted to talk about today, passports in particular. So yes, it's going to be moved on to online, like everything eventually. Just like cash money, within a few years, the 2030s are pretty much going to be a very digital age compared to now. Okay, I still use cash. I like using cash. I particularly use the Khmer reals over US dollars. I don't like using US dollars in particular anymore. I try to boycott USD because of who they've got as president in the USA. So I don't even like looking at American banknotes. Like, you can shove that up your ass. Okay, I support Khmer real to be circulated around because I'm in Cambodia. And I feel that's important, but up until a certain point where it's all going to go digital, basically. Okay. All right, it has its advantages because when you're traveling overseas, you don't have to worry about changing physical cash and whatnot. Advantages and disadvantages, I will use paper money right up until the end while it's still possible. Okay. While it's available, while it's still circulating, yes, I'll do it. Until the day comes when they say, hey, as of next week, everything goes digital, fine. Okay. It's the way it is, and that's the way where the world is headed. And what I'll do in that instance is hang on to any cash notes that I have, because then I can sell them later on for collectors. Yes, because there's going to be people for many years on collecting banknotes and coins from the past, for nostalgia reasons and everything. And I said, well, hey, if you want these rare Cambodian reals, you're going to have to pay me $1 million for it. So that's basically, that's a good idea. I could really set myself up really good for the future doing that. So there's food for thought, huh? Okay. Anyway, I think the rain has... it's still going, but anyway, I might just catch a taxi. I was thinking of walking home. It's not really that far. There's a supermarket that I wanted to go to that's a real cheapo one up there, but I don't know if I want to do it today. I don't really feel like walking through drip droplets. Anyway, what's today? I'm going to actually have to have a look. Thursday. God, I'm glad I didn't. I thought it was Wednesday, but then I thought to myself, well, yesterday I was at the public school. Okay, that's when I go to the public school: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, so I was thinking, did I have to go today or not? Were they waiting for me and I didn't show up? Anyway. All good now that I know what day it is. All right. See you later.